Joined once again here at the casting desk by Chad. Just got done with Rocket League, and it was a really tough match to watch, but
it was super exciting. I will say the boys put on quite the fight, and unfortunately we fell.
This was a new guy too, wasn't it?
Yeah. So the senior playing, and gosh, I'm already
Gravy,
forgetting.
Yeah,
Gravy
something.
Yeah, Gravy's a senior this year, and he's kind of filling in for Nuko's slot, and he's been a great addition to the team. It was a really exciting match to watch. Unfortunately, we fell to them 3-2 in a reverse sweep, and it was a bit of a bummer.
That's a really sad comeback from being up 2. You only need the one more map. But Rocket League is done, and we are on to Valorant. And tonight, Chad, we're seeing a new face come into CCL. They weren't here last year, but now they're back in it. It's UND.
Yeah, and I'm sure that UND is electric about their debut season here at CCL. I know that being in a league, being in a competitive environment, raising the stakes of your gameplay, past just what a competitive ranking is in PUGs is so much fun. And I'm sure these guys are going to have an absolute blast tonight. And I know the DSU squad is one that's pretty hard to get through. So
I think, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think we're still technically on our streak of not dropping a map during the normal season. Yeah. Obviously, like playoffs is its own thing, but during the normal season, I think we're 2-0 right now without and being 4-0 in terms of maps and all that.
And I mean, as we continue to try to keep that streak going.
Little David versus Goliath coming in here.
I think so. Hey, but you know what? David did end up winning that battle, so let's not wish for that. I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup tonight. UND, of course, coming in to try and make a little bit of a scene here and challenge the tyrant, which is the Dakota State University squad.
This DSU. There's another DSU in CCL, Dickinson State, but they're both very scary. UND did unfortunately lose to SDSU last week, so they're off that kind of downer, but I mean, you really can't fault them for anything today. It's going to be an electric match either way. I'm looking for especially some like Xeon judges, especially since from what I heard from Frog earlier today, they're feeling pretty confident out of this match. And so Xeon, Odin, Xeon on the judge, it's going to be crazy.
Well, and I know Coach Leif, I'm a teammate with Coach Leif in CSGO. I think I mentioned that last stream. I always got to shout out my man, Coach Leif. But Leif will definitely, if he feels that the overconfidence is maybe affecting the gameplay, I know that he's always one to be able to reel those guys in and keep them on a level-headed path. So he's obviously been a vital part of that team. And I'm excited to see Xeon, kind of pop off today. I know that Xeon has always been a very valuable member of the team this year, and it's going to be an exciting matchup to watch.
I got to touch on that Leif bit again, because something that I personally am noticing the difference between last year and this year is it used to just be Caleb. Caleb was not only just a player, but he was also the guy that had to organize the team. Mm-hmm. Now they've brought Leif up from, I think he used to play on JV, and now he just kind of is co-coordinator and just kind of manages a bunch of the teams.
Right.
But he's really that level head that I am seeing in these games when it used to be that I think it was Zulu would go off with the Odin, and it'd just get overconfidence, go out the door, and we would falter there. Right. Now with Leif stepping in, when now it's Xeon goes off and is like, no, trust me, I got the Bucky. Leif's there when they take that tack pause and just like, hey, I get it, but no.
Well, and keeping the eco in check and strat calling and all of these other things, like obviously having an IGL, like I think, is Caleb their IGL?
I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. I don't actually think it is Caleb. Okay. I want to say it's Jamula, but don't quote me on that. But I have no idea.
Right, but having somebody in that IGL spot, but then having a coach to back that up is of course something that I think has been invaluable to the squad to just keep them in check. As we've been talking about before. But I'm super excited to see here what our DSU squad produces today in terms of numbers and whatnot. It's going to be fun.
And we do have maps just turned in, some of the pick bands, and our first map will be the returning map of Split. Nice. And so, Chad, I know you don't necessarily play Valorant. You're more of a CSGO player.
More of a casual Valorant player.
Okay. But recently, Split, it was one of the OG maps. It was one of the original 3 in the beta even, was not available. It was taken out of the competitive rotation queue. But now with this new act, it's back in rotation, back in CCL, back in all competitive environments. So we'll be seeing Split with a couple of its new changes up first. and then we'll be seeing Ascent. So guaranteed we'll be seeing Split and Ascent, and if it goes all the way, anyone who watches, especially while I'm casting, knows I think this is like one of the second best quotes we have, other than Tim saying we don't win pistol rounds, is we're seeing Haven on our third map. So I want to see Haven. As much as I'd love DSU just to like show their strength here, I love seeing these competitive games where we go to like overtime on maybe a map or the third map, in which case it will be Haven. Unfortunately, we won't yet again see Lotus at all. This is a
That's
weird.
the new map, right?
Yes, this is the weird season, and it's going to be going forward that they're rotating maps out to like alter them and keep it fresh and keep a smaller map pool. But they're also still adding more maps.
Yeah,
and so we got Split, but we also got Lotus, and so now there's 2 maps to learn again.
Right. I think that like that practice in tech shooters of like rotating maps and everything like that. Obviously, we've seen that with Rainbow in the past. They kind of do that sort of thing. But actually, recently, CS:GO Dust 2 is now out of the map pool.
And Dust 2 is out of the map pool?
Yeah, they took it out to add Anubis.
Isn't that like the
that is like the
CS:GO map?
like you think of CS:GO, you think of Dust 2.
Okay,
And I feel like with Valorant though, it's like you think of Valorant, you think of Split. Like it's kind of the same kind of thing, right?
It was Split, it was Haven, and Bind were the originals.
Right, and so like if they like next season like deleted Bind, you'd be like,
guess what? Bind is gone.
Oh.
Right now it's Bind and Breeze are out, so we won't ever see those during this CCL. I have made a very high wager bet with one of my teammates that if Haven will be the next map that rotates out. Because if they don't rotate out like the original ones, I feel like that's just kind of how it needs to go.
Oh yeah, and I mean, obviously they do it for the betterment of like the game. Go in and freshen some things up. That box on B that always was used as a head glitch. We're gonna lower that a little bit and maybe see what happens. It's a good time.
No more one ways. All the one way lineups that you had gone.
Yeah, and I mean, like seeing Dust 2 come out of CS:GO and then hearing that Split is back in the map pool and stuff like that. It gave me a little bit of a flashback of what we're going to be dealing with this season and stuff like that with our team as well. But it's going to be really exciting to see the guys on such an old map. And if I remember correctly, Haven is kind of like DSU's. Haven is the one that DSU
it used to
super...
It used to be that Bind was our great map.
Sure.
We literally went undefeated on Bind like 13 games.
Wow.
It was across CCL seasons. It was if you my number one like tip to enemy teams was to ban Bind because we just it wasn't that we looked good, it was we were flawless.
Right.
And then Dickinson somehow came out of the blue and was like, hey, but they actually do this one thing, so then we exploit that. And we last CCL finals they kind of got like 13-3'd on Bind, and that was a wake up call. That was a wake up call. But no, Bind is out, so DSU inadvertently has been nerfed. But now, I mean, we saw Split last week against Wisconsin lacrosse. I had to think back a little bit, and it was looking very strong. It seems like a lot of players, especially like now that Split is back in the rotation. At least I can speak from my own experience. It's like it's like riding a bike again.
Right.
You come back into it, and it's like, okay, play the first time you see it, play your main, throw all the one-ways, throw all the lineups that you remember, and it just comes back. And now everyone's comfortable on Split again, and it's looking really nice.
I mean, it'll be cool for me, somebody who's not as educated in the Valorant scene to see not the CCL debut, obviously, of an old map, but, its debut, or its re-debut season, if you will, which will be fun. I mean, I don't know if we can necessarily, because I know it's a little bit map dependent, but on Split, where's DSU looking? Like what characters are we picking?
So a little bit. I'll draw from what I remember from last week, what I remember seeing, and what I was just watching some pro games do.
Sure.
Is we'll more than likely see like a Viper.
Okay.
For Viper's wall in the beta was not able to penetrate walls where you could like throw it and then it'd go in a line and it was all fine. They changed that, and that completely rewrit the history of Split, because now all of the like tight angles and all the narrow alleyways, Viper can cut like 5 of them off.
Right.
And it's amazing. Her ultimate in mid is fantastic, so I'm gonna stop swooning over Viper.
Hey, you know what? That's okay. Like
an interesting bit, and it's coming off of what our meta was last semester. Was it used to be initiator heavy. Now we're seeing some controller heavy, and I've seen Split, especially Split, run double controllers. Either an Astra for the utility, mostly utility because you have the double smoke. You don't have to rely on her smoking.
Yeah, well.
I've seen Omens and I've seen Brimstones. I have not seen a lot of Harbor, but I mean that's kind of his own problem.
Yeah. Sick. Okay, so yeah, here we go. I mean, let's see what we end up getting.
So I'm not entirely surprised that UND locks in the Cypher. Usually it's the debate of whether you run a Cypher or a Killjoy. Killjoy's ultimate being super strong right now because a lot of its counters were nerfed, right. Specifically Breach and Sova, but it's still an incredibly strong pick to choose Cypher due to a lot of the one-ways and a lot of the wires that you can trap off on split, especially towards the B site. We do see DSU, however, locking in Lunchbox on the KJ, so I'm not entirely surprised about that. And we will see at least both teams either hovering the Astra Viper and on both sides. One Duck, I'm going to have to learn these names right away. Duck is going to lock in the Astra, and I'm not surprised Billy and Frog will follow soon after.
Yeah, and you of course, you see a very tactical play here by Xeon as he continues to try and confuse us as to what he's going to pick.
Oh, if Xeon doesn't go Raze here, I would be very surprised.
Yeah.
Raze is kind of, I want to say the de facto on split. If you're going to run a duelist, you run Raze because of the lot of small choke points that people have to push through. You just throw a grenade down there and
right.
They're going to take some chip damage.
Yeah, for sure.
The difference in teams comes between their initiator and their sentinel choices. So we're going to see a KJ versus Cypher, and we're going to see a Sky in the hands of Jaymula, very strong agent in his hands, I know, just from his past experience. But Simp is going to be on the KO, which personally I'm a Sky main when it comes to initiators. Usually I play controllers, but whenever I have to flex into the initiator role, I'll play Sky.
Yeah.
But KO is very strong on split, specifically because his ultimate and his knife, the two abilities that turn off abilities for other agents, both go through walls, which is where like Sova.
And if I remember correctly, the range of that ability is just absolutely massive.
Oh, his ultimate is the size of your walking radius.
Yeah.
And so when you're running, when you're playing Valorant, you can see a little white circle around your character to show what the noise is.
Sure.
Yeah, his ultimate just is that area. His knife is smaller, and more like focused area because it is also a recon tool. But yeah, no, his ultimate's very large. They both go through walls, and so you're able to get a lot of influence no matter where you're at on the map.
Yeah, for sure. And I wonder what we're gonna see here for like an aggressive play, maybe.
First round, I'm not entirely surprised. We're gonna see Billy taking on two players. UND did their homework because Billy, that's his tried and true play, is always lurk towards A. So I believe we're gonna see the KO in the race take Billy down as the rest of DSU is gonna be pushing up B heaven. And Lunchbox and Frog are gonna get the trades, but not before three of their own players are gonna fall. It's down to a 2 versus 3. And not even like 30 seconds have gone off the board.
I know, yeah. Very aggressive play there. You're going to see them kind of moving towards, kind of getting the information of who's on what site. And the moment that they know that B site had a weak defense, they immediately went after it.
Oh, Frog and Lunchbox doing work, though. Brought down to 30 HP. And their DSU's going to win the pistol round.
A rare pistol round for DSU.
A rare pistol round win. Numbers advantage, too, in the hands of UND. That was a little bit of a fumble as all the three players kind of drop from heaven at the same time. When you're in the air, your ADS, your aim just goes completely out of this world. I don't know if that's the same in CSGO. I would imagine it would be.
When you're in the air?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're in the air, you're essentially firing. It's like almost as bad, or it's actually worse than when you're running full.
That's a pretty consistent ability. We see Billy once again lurking on the A site. Looks like and he's gonna get the kill.
Nice pick.
Dole's still going to expect this Billy play, and he gotta. Billy always plays here, so but Janitor's gonna peek out and he's gonna run into the Bulldog of Frog Fan. DSU just getting carried off of the backs of these superior weaponry. I'm gonna be taking this round pretty handedly. Spike's gonna go down once again on B. So you have a bit of a slow rotate from the KO, opting to pick up the ultimate orb out A main. Billy's gonna let him have it, but now he hears him back off going mid. Billy's going to try to get the cutoff as it's just Cypher in heaven, and Jay Mula is going to sit him down with the Spectre.
Jay Mula's got a nice little jiggle peek play there. You know, he's going to kind of like peek himself out a little bit, let him know that he's there. And I know that obviously that's usually like a disadvantage when you're playing that kind of angle, but obviously with the superior weaponry, Definitely. You just spray and pray. And
I mean, the Spectre is the spray and pray gun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly, like if and I know the viewers can't see this, but to entertain and to educate Chad here, if this is the area that you'll hit when standing still, this is it when you're moving.
Yeah.
It basically does not change.
It's like the MP9 of the Valorant world. I'm going to be full sprint, jumping through the air, and I'm still going to get a headshot just because, you know, gun's super accurate.
So long as you're like at least 20 meters away, you're going to hit your shots.
Yeah.
Jay Mula's going to get suppressed out of his Trailblazer as well. So that's, I think, 250 credits just down the drain. Canceled out by the free ability of the KO knife. I cannot remember what that ability is.
Pretty nice little trade there, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's a free ability that'll come back after 35 seconds, and the Trailblazer is just gone. Spent 250 credits down the drain.
Yeah.
Blocking vision.
A little bit of a slower start here to the round 3. Obviously, they know that the gun round, they got to be a little bit more. Xeon's going to, of course, take a fight and win it.
Janitor was a little bit lit up just from some gunfights earlier, but the superior weaponry is definitely being respected by DSU, as now they're on their bonus round. Of course, they do have some Bulldogs and the Spectre. You can do work with those weapons, but you're running into Phantoms, you're running into Vandals, and Billy and Xeon are going to just crack A open like an egg. And now it's down once again to just the Astra of Duck and the Cypher from UND.
Yeah, and it just seems like the DSU squad here, their main strategy right now, they're kind of doing a default with like a 2A. It looks like a 2A, 2B, or yeah, a 2A, 2 mid, and then 1B kind of default. And if I know Coach Leif enough, I know that he's calling those defaults because he just wants to get the information of what is UND doing? Where are they at? What's their kind of hold on sites and things like that? That way they can make some adjustments and do some, do like an A pop or something like that. And obviously, I think that they've found that they can just kind of shatter the A sites defense.
Robbie's going to get the jump on Lunchbox. And I believe if he's a smart betting man, Robbie's going to try to save this, but Billy's not going to let him.
Yeah,
trying to get out, just trying to save at least one Phantom going into the next round, as that was their buy-up round. This has basically secured DSU an extra round. They're basically, for all intents and purposes, up 4-0, as UND's not going to be able to buy. They're going to be forcing up to Sheriffs and Light Shields, which is a pretty decent eco buy. I mean, you can do work with that just from hitting your headshots, but DSU's just on another level right now. Jay Mula's going to be sticking with the Bulldog, however.
Yeah, and I think if you're UND, you run at something. Like, you run at it hard, see if you can get 2 or 3 picks and make your eco round worth it, but it doesn't look like they're going to do that. They're going to probably hold back.
Nope, still defaulting, still just holding their own angles. One thing I gotta say I'm a little disappointed from, and I think actually now I'm casting cursing myself, is this KO and Raves dueling out with Billy on A main. The first round, the first pistol round, they rush him and they took him out easily enough. And now Billy's gonna be good for 1, Billy's gonna be good for 2. Especially when you're on these lower buys, I want them to run out and isolate that 1 versus 2.
Right, and that's the thing, right? Is like that aggressive play, switching it up, kind of moving between the tempos is gonna throw them off. The janitor is gonna fall there to Jay Mula. Jay Mula is just gonna hit his shots. But you saw that play against the Rays and the other team with Billy, and just you gotta win those. You gotta hit those shots.
Toxin screen down.
Billy's gonna continue to get aggressive.
Yeah, he's gonna walk right through this and just.
Frog's gonna smoke him off, so he can't quite get a good angle here. I'm just gonna be holding in the smoke, waiting for Robbie to push it. But Robbie knows someone's in there.
Yeah,
he's gonna be good for 1.
Good play there by Robbie.
Enemy remaining.
And of course, a head-to-head fight with a classic and a what is it, a Bulldog?
Bulldog, yep.
Yeah, you're not gonna win this. Oh, and another one.
There we go. Jay Mula with a triple kill will secure their 4th round. This is where, if you're UND, it's kind of make or break, because this is your buy-up round. You really don't want to be on these buy saves, because that not only never wins you rounds. But
there's
also,
no loss tempo in Valorant?
I mean, yes, there is, but it's not enough that you can go from a full buy into another full buy.
Sure.
You can go from a full buy into maybe a half buy to buying like Spectres and Bulldogs, but then you're still at such an disadvantage that you should just save regardless.
Well, then definitely an important round here from UND. Let's see how this plays out here. Honestly, the way that this has gone so far, it looks like, and it looks like DSU's kind of looking at it like a mid peak here with possible execute on A or B, depending on where they maybe get a pick. And of course, you see Billy, or is that Billy there? Yeah, Billy's playing the Viper. Billy lurking off to A. He's getting no information yet. They're having 3 on A. I think this is going to be a tough defense to crack. We'll see how DSU handles it.
Oh, Billy. He's going to be taken down to 46 HP, but he's done his work. He's cracked open A, and with Frog's ultimate, the Cosmic Divide going up, they're going to have A basically for free.
Yeah, and you saw Billy there just with a really patient play. He's like, I'm not going to spray. I'm just going to bullet here, bullet there. Done.
You see, I got to point out, this is the change that was added. You're going to see Jay Mula drop there. That was literally the only change that Riot put in to split while it was gone. Is that ledge no longer goes all the way to the other wall. It now drops off there. Duck is going to take down Xeon, which I think is their only kill. So yeah, Billy's good for 5. He's finally going to get sat down by Robbie. But this is a tall order. A 4K this round could be big money for UND. However, with the timer ticking down and 3 players on the DSU side still remaining, it's basically a done deal here.
Yeah, and it looks like Robbie's just playing for exits, and I don't think that DSU is going to scoot out that way. I think they're going to probably go the other way here because they know where Robbie's at.
Play it safe. Lunchbox in a very dangerous position. You got to know that radius of that bomb in order to play in that little cubby there.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. Obviously, I think we're kind of seeing it right now, but I thought maybe that UND would half buy around the Phantom being safe, but at the same time, I kind of understand the pistols and then obviously letting Robbie, hold on to his eco because he has a gun. But yeah, I was really just kind of expecting more of like a half buy here in this next round because they really have to start to get something going. And I mean, I know a half buy against a full buy is obviously a tough battle to fight, but we've always seen things like that happen.
You're bringing a hero rifle into this, so you might as well try to get something out of it.
Sure.
Even if that is just taking guns out of the enemy's hands, but with this start of the round, only Robbie really having the ability to put a stop to any pushes.
Right.
He is going to be sitting up in heaven, but with this KJ ultimate being popped, it's going to clear out basically all of B. They would just have to check back sight in that little cubby there. Otherwise, yeah, this is all them.
Yeah, and you're going to see Jay Mula get that information. He heard that Viper there.
Blinded.
Oh, and
the Astra's going to be the only one really close enough to stop this, being in the defender spawn, but
you're kind of seeing
with the health pools left here, it's not a whole lot that UND can do.
I mean, a 4v4 though is definitely a winnable fight, but with the guns and everything that they have, it's just going to be very difficult for them to get back on it. I see Frog doing a little, or Xeon, excuse me, doing a little spray and pray.
And Lunchbox going to be getting the crossfire with game 2.
If I'm Xeon, I'm like, come on, man, I had this, guys. I had that locked down, man. You didn't have to be looking at that angle, but I'm sure that they're probably laughing a little bit about that play, and Lunchbox is smiling with glee as he leaps above Xeon there in the frags.
Now we see that's the first quarter of this map essentially done, as 6 rounds, first half of this half gone. DSU sitting pretty. I mean, Lunchbox is still maxed out on credits. The only person who really is doing poor is Jay Mula, and doing poor is sitting on 450. I mean,
when you're sitting on 2 full buys, it's kind of you're in a good situation. You're doing fine.
Very good. Simp still visiting Uncle Owen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I really want to see this KO raise push onto Billy. They're respecting him way too much. Granted, Billy used to be a top 500 Radiant player. However, it's still a 2 versus 1.
Right. You're going to see a lot of pressure here on this Viper. This Viper doesn't stand a chance. And they're going to I think they're going to run it down grapples here and probably maybe look to end A. They know that it's a 2-2 split right now, but I feel like A is definitely the harder site to hold on this map.
Actually, it's looking like they're going to be leaning towards B. They still have Xeon sitting in B main, but
after the
good
pick,
for
yeah.
one.
After the pick, it's definitely like, all right, well, now we got the momentum. We may as well do it.
Turret's going to deactivate. That's down in mid. I'm imagining Lunchbox either pushes back to heaven or recalls that. That's a very big, there he goes, recalls it. 20 seconds and that turret will be up. Essentially a fourth or fifth gun, I guess, now that Jemula is down. They are going to be revealed with the Cypher ultimate here. And there goes the second ping. It's going to get Simp his first kill this game, but Xeon is on a tear as he takes down 2. It's down just to the Cypher. However, we'll see here as Xeon's run in with the shorty.
Yeah.
Stand in the Viper molly. I think we may have a DC here.
Yeah,
unless
that was
Xeon is just tripping.
Very interesting.
Turrets destroyed.
Some very interesting behavior there from Xeon. Wondering kind of if maybe he did have an issue with connectivity.
Now that was a weird spot and a weird just angle to be holding. If that is in fact the case, no, his ping's still doing good. Not.
And he's
no
moving
DC.
around and everything. No technical timeout. And we're gonna continue moving forward. Maybe he was just
It's
doing
Xeon.
a little bit of trolling.
It's Xeon doing Xeon.
Or something, you know.
I did want to say and make the joke that Robbie now had the advantage in that, like 1 versus 4, because he uses ultimate. Fun fact, chat, it is impossible to hit a Cypher once his hat is off.
Yeah.
He pops his ult and he throws his hat on the dead body to like reveal everyone's positions. His model no longer has the hat. And it literally makes his headshot hitbox seem so much smaller.
Wow. That's... There you go.
I don't think it actually like does anything. However, it's just like the
tip to
mentality.
Cypher mains, huh? But yeah, I mean, here's one thing that I kind of want to just visit real quick is the play here from DSU and why this match is so far the way that it is. First of all, you're gonna see crosshair placement like that. You're never gonna win a gunfight against Jay Mula, especially if you're not prepared to take on somebody with that. And of course, Billy. Oh, Billy.
Billy,
Billy,
do
no.
it. Yes, let's go, Billy.
Oh man, there it is. And my comment was about to be, you've got 3 players on the team, once we see the scoreboard again, that I think are like 1 and now 8. And it's like, that is so difficult to even put pressure on an enemy team when you're getting overshadowed, in the frags that badly.
Like especially
Octa negative.
Look at Billy. He has 15 kills and 4 deaths.
Well, and what is a top 500 player gonna do but shine in a lobby of people?
Lunchbox has literally died once.
Yeah.
In this entire game, Lunchbox has died once.
Well, and I think that's honestly just like looking at the scoreboard here, it's a testament to their play styles. You've seen Billy clear A site almost by himself every single round. And then, of course, Lunchbox is
there we go. We're going to see the triple peak, actually, as the Raze has moved over to B. But they got aggressive towards A. They took the fight to Billy, and they took him out.
Yeah.
And so now they finally have the advantage going into this. Jay Mula, however, is going to even out the numbers as he has pushed all the way into B.
Oh,
Gonna get the trade with Dull.
Jay Mula, I wish I had your aim, man. That is incredible. Yeah, and you're just gonna see like even though Billy died on A site, they're almost like expecting him to go in and at least get like 1 and then die. So him being gone is not necessarily pivotal to the execute. Because the execute's gonna happen regardless of Billy being alive or not. It's just whether Billy gets a pick or 2 is dependent on whether or not they're going A or B. And here you're gonna see like 3 people picking this door.
Come on, Xeon. Come on, Xeon.
Yep.
Just knew Robbie was there.
Yep.
Janitor's good for 1, but 2 players remain for DSU, and that is a 9-0 lead. Now, if by some miracle UND come through and win the last 3 rounds here in this half, we're talking a completely different game.
It's true.
Does CSGO have anything similar to the 9-3 curse?
I would venture to say that there's kind of a stigma around 10-5.
10-5?
Maybe a little.
10-5.
I've had a lot of Face It games go 10-5, and then I am in double overtime and lose.
Oh no.
There is actually there is one. I have never won a Face It game in double overtime.
Oh,
Never. I get to double overtime, and either one of two things happens. We either go into triple overtime and then win, or we lose in double overtime. Never had one where I won. So
I want to point out that Xeon had an off, got a pick with the off, and now switched to a judge.
I mean, hey, when you're rolling in it, man, when you got the cash to spare, may as well use it, right?
Able just to take down the Viper right away, and now DSU, they cut noise. They've lurked their way up through B heaven. Really, the only person here is going to be Robbie, but he's too timid and staying in his own spawn.
Right.
So DSU just taking names on this attacking half. Billy keeping his wall up on the other side of the map. They're going to be ready for dog.
Incredible.
Billy, good for 2, getting the execute, and the only player left is going to be the KO.
And you're just going to see that Raze get completely overwhelmed there on site. Once the execute starts to happen, it's just kind of a, whelp.
Billy's so hungry. He's going for yet another kill onto Simp.
They should hunt. They have the eco to hunt. They should totally hunt. I'm a big fan of that strategy. Just like, okay, so their eco's already damaged and their morale is definitely damaged. Let's just run at them.
However, here's the thing. If Simp doesn't push this and brings his Vandal into this next round, he earns significantly less money.
It's true.
And so, yes, you're bringing a Vandal into this, and Billy's going to lose his life.
And Simp's going to get a pick on the top 500.
Simp's good for 2, actually.
Wow.
And now DSU, Frog and Xeon are both going to just surround him. Xeon going to be going with the judge.
Oh, yeah, there we go. The classic judge.
But I mean,
classic judge.
No, I don't know if CSGO has the same deal, but if you save and you live through a round that you lost,
you don't gain money.
You get no money. I think it's 1,000 credits. No matter what your loss bonuses are or what have you, you get 1,000 credits in that.
There might be a CT save bonus where you get a few bucks, but if you're terrorists and you don't save, or you save on terrorist side, you get 0 for the next round.
Actually 0?
Yeah, 0.
Oh wow.
Gives you nothing. So yeah, I definitely the punishment of saving it, and honestly at this point I get why you would save, because the credits you're gonna earn from.
Now Sim's hitting those headshots. We got a massive stack up mid from UND as Billy was sat down on A. And so they have the pressure, and I'm loving that they're running away with it. But now DSU is popping ultimates to kind of counter this aggression.
I like this play here from Jay Mula, just getting extremely aggressive up mid. And yeah, little jump spot there. That was good for some information. Good play there.
Where they lose a ton of HP with it. They were not able to get that wire. They did hit the wire twice with those birds.
Yeah, some people just don't appreciate the little things in life like jump spotting. Xeon's good for 1. He's gonna kind of run it down here, get really aggressive.
I mean, it's a shorty and it's Xeon. Frogman looking away at the wrong moment. It's gonna score Janitor a weapon upgrade, but Xeon with the shorty does not matter.
Call that a little bit of COD timing.
One enemy remaining.
Actually,
Not even clearing his right side there. Simp is gonna fall, and I mean this is just a lesson in the superiority of the DSU squad. When you forget to clear an angle like that, you get punished.
And Jay Mula with another triple kill. Billy's doing a lot of work and top fragging, I believe, right now, but Jay Mula's right on his heels.
Yeah.
Able to get multiple triple kills, a couple quads in there. I mean, it's really just gone down to these two just wrecking everyone.
Well, and I think Xeon he didn't have a slow start, but I think at first he was like, do I get aggressive with this or not? And now you see him at 11-5. He's like, okay, I've cemented myself as the guy who's gonna run it down. So he's running it down.
I will say, after talking a little bit last week with Xeon, they definitely have him on a little bit of a shorter leash with stuff. So
yeah, he's just got such good mechanics that he kind of he's got Valorant rabies, man. He becomes a fiend. He's like, I gotta go get the frag, because obviously he's really good at the game.
Lunchbox is gonna lose his life to Dolomano's showstopper there. They're gonna pop. Oh, that's Billy popping Viper on A.
Wow, and Robbie with an incredible shot on Jay Mula, giving a little bit of that Jay Mula aim back to him. It's a nice little.
height check in that corner. It's down to
Now here's the thing. DSU's obviously still at an advantage here, right? Because the spike is down. It's 3-2.
They have a Viper's pit up.
Yeah, but we got aim on our side.
Actually, now that I'm seeing this, they are giving up heaven. What I would love to see out of Janitor here, and it does not look like they're going to do it, but one of my favorite counters to a Viper's pit is another Viper's pit. You can overlap them, and then both of you are at the same advantage and disadvantage. That just nullifies it. Although Billy and Frog are just gonna sit everyone
there. You're
down
gonna
there.
see the curse of not clearing your corners. They just walked right past that left side because the wall was up, not even paying any attention or mind to it, and they got punished by getting a pick.
It was last round and a half. I would love to see Janitor just sit on top, drop in, pop Viper's pit. It applies. You're gonna be down to 1 HP because you're gonna be sitting in the decay, but so is the other Viper, and so you're negating that Viper's pit to such a degree.
Now,
but I mean,
have we ever seen DSU go perfect on a map before?
I want to say it was if we did, it would have been probably 2 years ago during like one of the first seasons that I was casting for.
Sure.
And so we didn't perfect like 13-0. Last semester ever. We got real close. I think we dropped a pistol round, honestly.
Oh gosh, fingers crossed.
In proper DSU fashion, but
long live the caster curse, please.
You see Billy.
Gonna get a pick.
Simple fall. It really does come down to this pistol round and Billy scoring that first kill, especially on the split defense. I know we're seeing that DSU just got a 12-0 clean sweep. Potato aim.
Thank you so much for that lunchbox. I really appreciate that. I know you can't hear me right now, but
that spray is also a gun buddy of that potato guy.
Incredible.
It's literally called potato aim.
A little bit of the reapplication of the spray there is going to give him some boost here to his confidence and to his aim. Ouch.
Slowed. He was able to negate the vulnerability.
Oh, man,
playing with fire.
Xeon's gonna get a little.
He's good for one. Takes down Janitor. It's down to 2 players left in this match point. Duck's good for one, but with Billy's final kill, gonna take down Duck. They're gonna win pistol round, and that will be split. DSU 13-0ing UND.
Man, I'm glad I picked today. I'm glad I picked today to be here with you, man.
That was ridiculous. I mean. Yeah, we're gonna go back and see that scoreboard here because we got to see Billy sitting on a comfy 20. Unfortunately, Lunchbox did drop his only 1 death stat and dropped down, or I guess it went up to 3. But
now, I know they just got 13-0'd, but I do want to talk about one little quick thing. Some of the mechanical things that UND had in that map, there showed some promise. They're really aggressive structure on mid that one round where they pushed mid and then they came right off of it. That actually got a few picks. It brought it down to 2 to 3 and 2 bodies in the favor of DSU, 3 for UND. And then DSU of course got the bomb down and they just were winning their trades and all, or they were getting their, winning their gunfights and stuff. And it kind of came down to just them having a little bit of a better aim. But
and that kind of seems just the story of Split.
Honestly. And I think that UND is definitely talking right now about some adjustments and things that they could make going into the next game about, some mental things. 13-0.
That hurts. I've been there and that hurts.
We've had, obviously matches, and IEM being the most recent example of a tournament that we've gotten absolutely just slaughtered in, and we went 16-1 in our first map and dropped it. And that hurts. That's tough. There's not a Band-Aid that can fix that one. It's kind of one of those things where you just gotta.
Unfortunately, that was their first map, and so they do have to play into Ascent here.
Yeah.
But like you had said before, I really liked what I was seeing out of UND. Right. It just came down to DSU outdueling them a lot of the time.
Right, and it's their debut season. I think one thing that's going to be important to kind of understand is like going into CCL for the first time and not necessarily knowing what to expect from the teams. I'm sure they've heard DSU was number 2 last year, and they were like, I better prepare for this match. It's going to be a tough one, And then they go in, and obviously maybe DSU was a little bit more of a stout opponent than they were expecting, but DSU is also focused on getting into tournaments and things like that were past CCL and getting themselves more competitive experience, which is why I think they bring that back and they do things like this to teams that are just completely not ready, put them on their back foot and then just end it. And even if they didn't win 13-0, I mean, the way that was going, it was going to be 13 to a single digit number. It wasn't going to ever be even a thought in our minds that DSU was going to drop that map.
Literally, other than the pistol rounds, there was no round there that DSU wasn't looking comfortable.
Right, and I think you see DSU winning on a fundamental level that UND may have not been able to kind of copy. And that was like you saw it with like a lot of Jay Mula's gameplay, like his crosshair placement, the way he peeks things. And it's all the DSU guys doing that kind of stuff. And when you peek around the corner and you're literally on their head, it's impossible to react to something like that, and Jay Mula, of course, is going to come around corners and do that to you all day long,
That's
or
just the skill.
Yeah, or Xeon just, having the audacity to run through a Viper wall with a judge and then get 2 just because he's like, why? I can do it. Yeah. I think those are things you just don't necessarily expect, or the things that are very difficult to react to. And I think UND's probably talking about it a little bit like, ooh.
But we will be going out into Ascent. Yeah, that was split. I mean, if you are UND, it hurts. Yeah. But you got to put it aside. It's split is over. You can still theoretically take it back. I can check real quick what side they start on.
Was Ascent a pick from UND?
Ascent was UND's.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm thinking and we just got information from the tech booth that we are we're starting defenders for Ascent, but I like UND's odds to carry a little bit of momentum into this round. I mean, honestly, if I'm being realistic, I think DSU is probably going to pound them pretty hard here.
Are we going to see? Rough. Okay, I'm going to say it after because are we going to see another 13-0? If we see another 13-0, I'm going to make fun of Frog. I'm going to report Frog for bullying.
But, I'm going to report Xeon for aim hacking. I mean, yeah.
But no, looking into Ascent and looking on the brighter side of gray, what UND can do. They're starting on their map pick. And so theoretically, they're probably more comfortable on their map pick. Sure. They're also starting on the offense. Now, Ascent is a really well-balanced map. It's pretty much even attacking and defending.
Sure.
However, when you're on the offense, and what we kind of saw from DSU on Split, is you are able to set the tempo. Right. You are in control of how fast this game is going to go.
Right. After the first pick, it's essentially whether the team wants to slow down or not. It's up to them. And I think, just judging because, Split's a little bit, the A site and B site are somewhat close together, linked through mid and stuff like that. There's a lot of really interesting ways to get between the two of them. I think that this, I say CT, but the defender side.
It's still called CT here.
Yeah.
That was completely ripped out of CSGO.
Awesome. Yeah. So your CT side, right? You can get creative with strategies. You can 5-stack a site and play a retake. You can push through mid on a save round. Like you can do these things, and I really wish that UND would kind of try that because those things are going to be really important to freaking your enemy out. And even if like you push down mid with pistols and you lose it, what have you just done? Well, you've let them in on the idea that could happen in the future. So do we want to even like stash a dude mid if we beat them on the next gun round and like, oh, well, we don't really know. Like maybe let's just do an execute on a site instead and you can maybe catch them off guard. That mental game that's played there. DSU was, I mean, in terms of the mental game, and I'll corny joke here, but DSU was playing chess all day long. And I think UND was maybe stuck on checkers.
A little bit.
But I think with Ascent, the reason I don't think that DSU will get 13-0 is because I feel like Ascent might, if they picked Ascent and they picked it, with something in mind, I think that there's some strategies and things like that have worked for them in the past or in, tournaments they may have, I don't know what UND's obviously tournament experience is, but things that they've done. And maybe we'll see, them get a couple rounds on the attacker side.
I gotta say, speaking actually from experience and playing against teams that are similar to DSU and getting 13-0'd like that, it used to be C team. It also used to be JV team like 2 years ago, but Valorant at DSU has expanded so much. My blue team, whenever they'd get on those kinds of games, Haven used to be our comfort map.
Sure.
And we would get 13-0'd, but then we'd go to Haven. And we always had what we just called the Leroy strat. It was partially because of the Leroy Jenkins meme, partially because we had a player on our team called Leroy. And also we decided to name the Blue Dragon Frenzy like Leroy Francois the Third or something like that. But it was literally you get on Haven, you run down C long pistol round with all 5 of you buying frenzies. And because me and one other person had the Blue Dragon Frenzy, we would just be buying it for each other. So all 5 of us had it.
Right. And the moment you see anybody, you just hold left click and you pray for the best.
Down. And so when you're on those maps, even if you just got 13-0'd, seeing that they're picking Ascent and that they're going to Ascent, like you had said, it's now hopefully they have something kind of like the Leroy strat where they have something out of the pocket that'll win them a couple rounds. Now I will say it's going to be a small miracle to see them come back and win this and see Haven.
Yeah,
that's entirely possible. You never know how much practice they put into it.
Small miracle might be maybe underplaying it. I think DSU's got many advantages going into the second game, other than just aim and mechanics. But I think it'll be interesting to see what Leif and the team have in the strat book. I think honestly, if we were to think about what the pep talk might be going into this next map for DSU, I think Leif is going to have a little bit more of a stern attitude about it. He's going to be like, yeah, we just did that. That happened. But you know what else is going to happen? We're going to do it again. And you guys are going to play smart, and we're going to do it again, because there should be zero reason as to why we're dropping around against a team, on a map that, we're somewhat comfortable on.
Oh, we're comfortable.
And we've got
Ascent. It used to be like Bind used to be the thing, but then Ascent was right there.
Right. And so now here's the thing, right? Is UND is in the best spot for this, because if they had played their map first and then our map and gotten 13-0 the first time, that not only destroys your confidence, but then you're just like, great, we don't have anything in the strat book for this next one. We're screwed. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do here. And I want to see. I'll be the agent of chaos. I kind of hope they put up a bit of a fight. It'd be fun to watch.
Oh, I definitely again, if we see Haven and we go to Haven, I will be astounded. I'll be overjoyed because I love seeing Haven, especially when it's the third map. I always say third map, 3 sites, perfect. Oh, however, now Lotus ruins that.
However,
yeah, it was UND. I wanted to check who actually banned Lotus, because what I want to see a team do, and I don't know if it's going to happen here this CCL season, is personally I don't like Lotus. However, I've heard a lot of people say that they kind of do. And so I want to see some team just be like, okay, guys, Lotus is ours. We're going to pick that first. We need to get that, because DSU so far has not banned Lotus. It has not been their first ban. I think Fracture was this game was their first ban. And I want to say, and I can probably check it actually. Yeah, Fracture was their last ban last week as well.
Sure.
And so they don't want to play Fracture, but they're not banning Lotus. And so since it's the new map, you'll learn that map and you bring it to CCL. You have it be your first pick. Go off. I mean, it's a play out of left field, and I'd love to see it.
Now, what's you said Fracture was banned last? Did they ban Fracture first?
It was their first ban this week and last week.
So Fracture is our auto ban.
That seems to be the we don't want to play Fracture. So.
And I love Fracture, man. That's just such a dumb concept for a map, but I love it.
I actually have to agree with you.
Yeah, like it's just like there's something about the giant chasm with a zip line on it that you're just like, okay, like this is kind of cool.
Chad, I don't know how much like actual like Valorant esports you pay attention to.
Right.
However, I think I can find this clip after we're done here. There was a pro game. I cannot for the life of me remember who it was, but one team literally 5-man on the wire, and one person sat on the other from the other team sat on the other side because they were trying to rotate and be like, oh, I'm going to get a sneaky flank.
Right.
Turn. So all 5 of them mowed them all down.
Oh my gosh.
Never take all 5 on the wire.
Dude, I mean.
And they were all going, it was because the wire doesn't make any noise when you're walking across it. And so
you can walk across the wire.
So if
I've never done that. I'm like, I gotta get to the other side like ASAP.
If you're so I play weird.
Sure.
Nobody judge me. I'm going to call it out in Twitch chat here, but I play with toggle to walk. So I just
so
tap
hit shift and then
I'm either walking or running.
I can't do that.
Apparently it's like not good because a lot of like the movement stuff needs you to be able to just like tap at stuff. But it's like you tap to walk and then you're completely silent going across. It's a lot slower, but you're completely silent. Where if you're running, then it's gonna make noise. It makes noise at both ends because it's zipping, so you instantly know someone's there.
Right.
And so it was ridiculous to watch. I didn't get to see it live, but I've seen it a couple times where you just snap towards it and just gone. And so
I believe that we are waiting for the coach. Are we waiting for the coach on which side?
I believe it's UND. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I actually didn't even see a coach on the band pick list for UND, but that's awesome that they do have one. I'm sure that coach is given the pep talk of a lifetime after the 13-0 showing that was their debut map against DSU.
No, we'll be going to Ascent here, and so some of the stuff that since we're waiting,
right?
What are some of the things that they can do on Ascent specifically? What you have to play with is you have a wide open mid. Ascent is called the CS:GO map because it was inspired a lot off of some CS:GO stuff. But you have a wide open mid, and you have two doors that are adjustable, toggleable, either open or close, going into each site.
Sure.
What I would really like to see.
Oh, actually,
probably
your description of that map just made joggle my mind of what it actually is. Yeah, so I know now.
What I want to see is probably a KJ on either team, but especially UND because
especially with his ability being able to go through walls and it's the size of your run, like your run speed.
Oh, that's KO. I said Killjoy. KJ. Killjoy, mostly because her retake potential and just her ability to hold B almost alone would be fantastic.
Sure.
However, I would like to see KJ and I'd like to see Sova.
Okay.
Specifically to hold B. What I'd like to see is you have KJ sit top mid, kind of in the market area, have her turret watching B main, and you'll see what I mean if they end up running one. There's a little spot where literally only like the top bit of her turret is visible, but it can still shoot at people.
Right.
Because it's just how it sits. And it's the most annoying thing to shoot at.
Yeah.
I hate that thing, but it makes B such a dangerous take. Right. Especially with a Sova there, playing with Ares, playing with Odins, because that wall of B main is penable to heavy weaponry. Yep. And it's just, you make Swiss cheese out of people.
Right. And yeah, I have actually recently in a unranked seen that strategy used, not on me, thankfully, but it was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen. I was like, what is going on? And it's just a dude firing a machine gun at a wall, and it was incredible to watch. But
we see Sova, we see KJ.
Yeah.
For controllers, honestly, I'm kind of leaning into solo controller.
Right.
And probably either Brimstone or Omen. So Brimstone, the bonuses are obviously great, like post-plant utility. The Molly is the best Molly in the game, supposedly, because it has the longest time, widest radius, most damage.
Epic damage. Yeah.
That thing melts.
Can't argue with that.
Especially as a Viper main, I'll like walk through my Molly a little bit. I'm like, oh, it's a tickle. And then I'll walk through a teammate's Brimstone's Molly. I'm like, oh my God, I'm half health.
Yeah.
But no, you play Brimstone for that post plant.
Sure.
But then you play, I'm kind of leaning towards Omen, specifically because of the long rotates you have on Ascent.
I do like Omen for this map. You because of that, yeah.
Place your smokes pretty much anywhere.
Right.
However, the ability to like, oh, we just got melted in B main, I'm out. We're going to A.
Yeah. Yeah, Omen, I think if I had to, my ignorant Valorant self had to pick between the two, I would definitely go with Omen over the Brimstone. Although that Molotov is very, very spicy. I think it's just kind of one of those things where you might want to just bring the extra utility with like the smokes and everything. But I'm a big sucker for any instant lock on UND's side with the Omen.
We see the Sova, we see the KJ. I was about to say I would not be surprised if we saw DSU pulling out an Astra.
Yeah.
Specifically because Astra is able to do similar things that Omen's able to do with that map presence with smokes. However, You're also getting a lot more utility like the Vortex that makes them fragile, puts them in one spot, and also the Concuss. It's a little bit better utility than Omen's Teleport and Blind. I am a little surprised that we're going to see Robbie jumping on the Jet, especially after the game we just saw.
Sure.
Mostly because when you're playing at this like level of Valorant, the effects that playing duelists have kind of go down.
Sure.
You're really good at pub stomping when you're playing unrated games, or if you're at like my level of silver or whatever, when you're getting good mechanics like that.
Right.
But when you're at this level where it comes down to you're gonna use the op, you're gonna get the one shot, and you're gonna get out. Doesn't matter what agent you're gonna do. That's just how the game works.
Oh, totally.
You have to be really confident to be bringing in the duelists, especially when you just got 13-0'd. I will say Robbie Robbie, I think he was the bottom frag, but he had the least amount of deaths as well. And so I'd love to see him go off a little bit with some of these. But we're going to see a KO on both sides.
Not surprising.
Not at all.
No.
Double
the
initiator.
Killjoy on both sides, like you were mentioning, Killjoy being pretty epic on this map. So yeah, not surprised there either. But I was surprised to see DSU not opt to maybe have like a Brimstone or a
right there up on that barrel. Oh no, Lunchbox puts it in a different spot. Okay, I hear you. I vibe with it.
But yeah, you were mentioning the possibility of an Omen or a Brimstone being on the DSU side here, and I'm a little shocked that they didn't maybe opt for that, but maybe there's a little bit of something to be said about.
Chad, I think I need to go to bed. I looked at the mini-map to see where he placed his turret. Lunchbox put it where I thought he was going to. It was the red turret I was looking at.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait, that's not. Oh, I
see.
see.
Rooting for, man? No. But here we go. We're going to see a really slow. This is a slow start here to the pistol round. They're just going to kind of do a little silent crawl here through A main.
I like the stealth play. However, you have the KJ turret up. That KJ you can hear from where Frog's playing, so Frog knows that at least Killjoy is here. And since there's nothing being heard or seen from B, you're expecting that
they've got to know that this. They have to know that this is going to be a possibility here.
They're going to shut Frog out. He's going to immediately burn the door. And now Spike's down, 5 versus 5. Barely anyone's hurt as well. Now it's going to come down. Duck is going to get the first kill on Jamula. Frog and Xeon, though, going to answer back as the frenzies sing, and this is DSU's retake in the making. And they're completely
shut off the site, too. They should just get on it.
Well, this is Killjoy. Killjoy's Molotovs are remote detonated.
Oh.
And so a very common adult was trying his best.
Yeah.
Can't really expect too much, but no. Did you not know Killjoy's mollies were remote?
No.
Okay, so
but that does make sense as to why they would maybe want to bring one.
Run down on the Killjoy utility is it hits a turret.
Okay.
So it does 3-round bursts that have insane damage drop off. I think its max damage is like 8 per bullet.
Oh yeah.
And so it doesn't do a lot. It's mostly just to be annoying and
ping it, get some shots out, give away a position.
It's an alarm bot that you just place down, and then when someone comes within a radius of it, it'll wake up, alert you that someone's there, and if they don't kill it, we'll apply a shatter effect where you take double damage.
Sure.
And then her Molotov, she has 2 mollies that are remote detonated. So you can place them down, and then no matter where you're on the map, you just look at them, activate them, and boom, Molotov.
Yeah.
And so it allows Killjoy to play off-site more and play waiting for those
almost like a site like lurk in a way. Really interesting. Chamula with the incredible aim and recoil control.
Vector. One thing that does counter KJ plants like that, though, is the utility of Sova using the shock darts to just blast the spike.
Sure.
Because the mollies only have, it used to be 1, but I think they buffed it to 20 HP, which is, I think, what your shock darts do at its max radius. And so you just splash the spike with it a little bit, and then they're gone.
What are we seeing here? We're seeing...
I'm not sure. Frog's going to be taken down to 33 HP by mostly the turret, but...
Quite a questionable play there, if you ask me. I'm not quite sure what any what gets accomplished at all by hiding in a corner with a robot is. But
I think okay, because I'm trying to get into UND's head here a little bit. I think you're expecting DSU to be very confident after that 13-0, and so you're expecting that push. However, you're playing. You're on the attack.
Right.
The timer is on DSU's side.
Sure.
Now DSU does opt to actually like push that, and so it kind of paid off because they did what they thought they were gonna do. But you're waiting for DSU to take the initiative on the defense.
Right. Well, I honestly, you know, the way I thought about it, I was like, you know, they got the Coach Leif buff where they're just not going to run one man down at that giant, you know, castle they set up. You know, they're not going to get tripped up by that. They're fine. But you're going to see the Omen in A main. He's going to peek it, nothing. So I think what they're going to end up doing is they're going to grab Spike back and spawn, and they're going to probably look for an A rotate here. Because they've probably got some information that there's at least one or two of the DSU members on B. But I'm sure that they have to think, right, at this point, that it's a 2-2-1 split.
Yeah, I mean, DSU is holding the cards pretty close to their chest.
Yeah.
They're not really pushing out. They got aggressive this last round because it was their buy-up round. They just won the pistol. And we're going to see a very early KJ ultimate being popped.
Yeah. I think they definitely should have maybe let the execute begin before doing that. Just to kind of cement the fact that like there's not going to be abilities kind of ringing their ways.
Oh no, I think that was Jay. No, it was Frog actually. One player was detained. So UND were able to get 2 picks, and then Frog was shut down by the Killjoy ultimate. I think they shut the door, so Frog was safe due to UND's own hands, but
right.
We're gonna see. It's gonna be 3 versus 5 retake. UND has the gun advantage and the numbers. I think if Frog doesn't clear mid, they have the flank on him. They're gonna be coming in. There's Janitor taking him down, but they're on the defuse, and there we go. UND winning their first round of this whole series. With an excellent, actually, I'm really liking that Omen smoke there because while you're defusing, you're one-wayed.
Now keep in mind, I mean, DSU still has a full buy here, so it's like we're still fighting that battle.
And that was the round that UND was expected to win. They had the better weaponry. However, DSU did just 13 of them, and they had their Bulldogs. They had the same. They saw an upset like that on Split, but they were able to take down. I think it was just Janitor actually, who had to buy up into this, who can't quite afford full armor, and I'm wondering if they have full util as well. Especially on the Omen, you kind of need the paranoia, his near sight flash.
Yeah. But just gonna see some slow play here. They're working mid. I think slowing down the tempo a little bit for their attacker side was very useful last round, but I think DSU is gonna adapt and maybe not be so aggressive, you know, in these next couple rounds here.
They also don't have the KJ ultimate to really afford, like, buy them a site, basically.
Right.
And so, I mean, no one has their Sova ult, so I would not be surprised if...
Oh, look at this walk across mid here. I love that.
Looks
it's incredible what the caster wall hacks can show us.
Well, yeah, Xeon's going to hear it, and they're going to execute into tree. Billy is going to get a molly kill, and they're just walking into the meat grinder.
Completely.
That is Xeon, Billy, and Frog. Janitor's good for 1.
Completely shut down. Like, there was absolutely no question that DSU was ready for that.
There we go.
And a very obvious teleport, and Billy's going to overspray because...
Hey, you just got to make sure the gun didn't jam.
Well, you know, he's floating up in the air a little. He's getting pulled down into purgatory. You got to make sure that he goes down there. You give him a couple extra bullet holes for the ride home. But yeah, no, I mean, it's DSU's superior, you know, superior gunplay has just been carrying them here with these rounds, and I think honestly, like, you know, CT is obviously about control and map control and stuff like that, and it's like you said. Unless they have the KJ ult to buy them a site.
And now we are going to see DSU holding on to their Killjoy ultimate as well. One thing I will have to say about that last round was...
Fire into that, Xeon. Come on.
Oh, he does spray. Only good for 1, though. Able to do quite a lot of damage, though. as Billy's going to be able to get the wall bang onto Duck. He was down to like 1 HP too, but no, there was no world where UND didn't take tree that round just because you didn't have any noise up B main. You had the alarm bot in mid or top mid.
Sure.
And so really you're either going to push A main or going to push A tree. And you have the meat grinder watching A tree who can quickly switch to A main.
Frog with just a little. Oh, wow. He's going to make up for that with a really cool blind pick there. Dude, Frog, he's going to miss the little jiggle peek shot, and then he's just going to hit something like that because got to make up for it, right?
Just got to spray and pray. And I'm feeling bad for Robbie right now because he's sitting, I think, still visiting Uncle Owen.
Yikes.
I'm really hoping you're picking up on that, Joe.
Yeah, the Owen.
I think he's 0-3 right now.
Yeah.
Good old Uncle Owen 3.
Uncle Owen, man.
Here we go, Lunchbox, popping the KJ ult. And what this does, completely buys them A. Look at the radius on that ultimate. Every part of A, they have to go all the way out to A main or sit in that corner, and 100% they have a lineup for that corner.
Yeah.
And so you just have to wait for Dolmano to come back. And it's the one tap.
Flawlessly executed. And that, kids, is why you don't shift shoulder peek a corner.
Yeah, you have to expect someone to be watching basically that entire angle. You have to kind of rush your way onto there. But that's the power of Killjoy on Ascent. You really need your Sova to be grinding those ultimate orbs to be able to take it down, especially since that's your only counter. KO Molly can no longer take it down unless it's like planted directly on top of it, because the Killjoy ultimate, its health was recently buffed from 150 to 200.
Oh, yeah.
And so the Molly, unless it's like literally on it, can't take it down and doesn't have enough damage.
Right.
And the Sova ultimate, it used to be that you could 2-tap it out of the 3 bursts that Sova had, but now you need all 3 in order to take it down. And so that's what makes Killjoy really strong right now.
He's going to detect 1J Mula for A, so they're going to have the information that there might be a little bit of, some shifty brewing on A. And so I'm thinking that what DSU is going to try and do here is they're going to try and focus their efforts towards maybe pressing A main. But it looks like the confidence here is kind of what is at play, because they're not really moving towards anything except for, and you're going to have to pardon me, I forget the character's name there that's pushing up towards them.
We're having a KO ultimate popping out, but Frog's just gonna
with a triple.
Spam.
Frog with a triple.
I mean, technically it's not a triple yet because KO can get rezzed when they're in their ult, but the likelihood of that happening is so low. The timer's gonna tick down, and it's just down to Sim, and Xeon's gonna get them.
Frog with a 4K, and Xeon's just gonna get a quick op.
There you go.
Quick op pick, Classic Xeon. He's going to be able to just rein in the straggler that Frog fan wasn't able to deal with.
I really liked the restraint I saw from DSU there. They were able, more than likely you got the one reveal in A main, and you've seen the KO knife.
Yeah.
Likelihood of them pushing A, very high. However, we have seen UND rotate out like that before.
Sure.
And so when they saw the KO ultimate pop, it was immediately...
And Jeff's gonna get aggressive with the ult. Oh, wow, nice. Xeon
is just on something. DSU, all of that restraint I was just talking about, gone.
Yeah. DSU unhinged.
And now they're gonna be pushing A main again.
Not sure if they expect this, but I'm...
Frog having the lineup, and Dolmano's just gonna push straight through.
Frog is having the time of his life right now.
I didn't know that wall was pinnable by a Vandal, but now I do. And Xeon's gonna get a double kill, taking down his Jet counterpart with the ultimate knives. He didn't even have to pop his knives there as he was sitting on an operator, but just wanted to do it for style points.
Yeah, and now you're gonna see a crippling, well, actually not the crippling eco yet. You see UND's eco is just like kind of somehow finding a way to hold on. Like they just bought an op this round.
Robbie.
And they're down the last 4 rounds. Like, it's kind of incredible that they're able to hold on their eco, but Xeon with a classic judge. Oh,
I need
switch out for the Bucky.
No, he's just throwing down. Okay, Robbie, you switched out. I was gonna say I need him to do something with that op. He cannot be visiting Uncle Owen when he has an op, and Sion's gonna simp down with the wall bang through the owl drone too. So
Lunchbox sitting patiently waiting to strike.
Nowhere on B is safe, so I think if Lunchbox is just gonna sit through this, as he has to have Jay Mula take it down, but Jay Mula's not able to do it, so Lunchbox is gonna get shut down as well as one other player. And UND is pushing out. The 3 players from UND choosing to run away, actually.
The rare rotate from UND.
They had 2 of the players from DSU shut down.
Zion's like this guy. He's literally jiggle peeking with a shotgun at a long angle. The confidence. Look, hey, he's got more confidence than I do, I'll tell you that.
Okay, I'm really questioning UND's play there because, yes, you're going into 5 players, so there's still 3 up and available, but you had 2 players on B completely shut down. They don't have knives out. They can barely move. They literally can't do anything except sit there and watch you kill them.
I think the idea is that they're trying to stall the gunfights out so that they maybe can find a way to build pressure somewhere else. Unfortunately, Frog is going to answer that by telling him no. Zion had a triple. But one with the op. I think one with the op, and then 2 with the is that the Bucky?
Shorty.
Oh, the Shorty. Excuse me.
The pistol's the Shorty. Then the pump action is the Bucky, and then the auto shotty is the Judge.
Couldn't find anything that ended with Y that was clever for the auto shotty.
The auto shotty.
Yeah, you know what? That's it. That's canonically what it is called when we're casting together. It is the auto shotty. It is no longer the Judge.
I don't remember because it's you know Jackson. I don't remember his last name right now. But he's the one that's named all of the dragon skins for Blue Team.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember what he named the Judge because we were on that too. Just because it's the dragon skin.
I love that. Oh wow.
Oh. Frog. Just laying down the law, putting UND down as they try to aggress mid here. Spike is down, still in their spawn, because they're just trying to get some pressure anywhere, trying to find any crack in DSU's armor.
is having a hard time figuring out what's on the side of his gun. Just trying to rub it off.
Just repeated. Billy getting aggressive. Jamula with 2 as well. Dole's gonna try to take Billy down. He dies for his hubris, but
hey, you know what? It's all right.
Frog getting a triple kill. DSU sitting very comfortably right now.
This scoreboard, I bet. Frog is just 17-3 at 9 rounds. Talk about the game of a century, man. I would pay to have a 17-3 game. That sounds awesome.
I gotta say, for as consistent as Billy is, as consistent as Jay Mula is, when Frog is like warmed up and feeling him, he gets into the zone. And I gotta say, Robbie, you need to get a kill here. You need to take down Frog. Nope. Okay. And
you can't challenge him.
Frog is just on something else, and Billy's gonna take it out of Simp's hands as well. That operator, 4,700 credits just down, and the rest of the team is now gonna be suppressed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hilarious, right? Like,
Frog good for 3. Billy taking up the other.
Don't mind Frog as he goes hexa positive, you know, in a competitive collegiate game.
Sitting 20-3 after 10 rounds. Not even the first half over, and Frog is on something this game.
Whatever he's on, man.
I could use some of that in some of my competitive
Yeah,
games.
no
Not
kidding.
gonna lie.
No kidding.
And now, I mean, Frog's feeling himself right
Honestly,
now.
yeah.
Billy is kind of lagging behind. Not gonna lie, not even in double digits yet. We're gonna make fun of him after all of that.
Oh man, you went 7-3 on yeah, okay.
Okay, Billy is gonna get tagged by the Marshal, so he's down to only 49 HP. Simp's gonna take down Xeon. Maybe it's a Marshal game.
Yeah.
So the
Just
Marshall,
throw
I
everything
believe
away and
the
pick up the
CSGO,
Scout.
I think the CSGO gun is called the Scout,
It's
right?
the Scout, yeah.
202 to the head, 101 to the body.
Yep.
It's not the best gun in the game, but it's definitely not anything to like scoff
You can hit
at.
your headshots. You're pretty effective.
Billy's gonna
Spike
take
down B.
Gosh, it's just the overwhelming pressure that DSU is able to put on UND, even while being on the CT side, is just kind of incredible. And I mean, you're gonna see it. They're gonna get to play 2 rounds of attackers if they win out here, assuming they win out here. And I think you're gonna see one thing happen in those 2 rounds. I think you're gonna see DSU get extremely aggressive, and it's just going to be a very difficult fight for UND. They're going to be up in their face. They're going to be overwhelming. They're going to be winning their gunfights. They're going to be hitting their
Sim
shots.
gonna take down the op.
30 seconds left.
Wow.
Robbie once again falling to Frog.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, Lunchbox.
You need to clip that. That was
I
incredible.
wish our replay system was like actually working.
Oh, is it broken? Oh, no.
Because they're. Oh no.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Last round and a half, and DSU chooses violence.
I hope they go with it. I hope they stick with it.
Oh, they definitely can't. I think they are. They're just putting the gun on the ground right now. And they're not only are they that, they're all gonna be peeking from tree.
And then, of course, Xeon.
Xeon, I think he has the pocket. Oh,
Heavy
no.
weapons guy.
You know, he has the pocket Odin. It's just a pocket Odin. All
Imagine.
5 players. Oh no, they're ditching it now. DSU, you have to stick with it. If you're gonna go for the meme at this
Well,
point.
but UND's putting together a strategy now. They're actually executing on a site quickly because they have the
they had no resistance. That's
they
why
have the
they got
KJ.
They need to pop their ultimates right now, as this is the last round and a half. But just listening to that operator
Xeon will get a
sing.
pick. I think Lunchbox
Oh
might be good for one
my.
here if he sticks to it.
Enemy remaining.
My-
Xeon gets another one.
My PTSD is actually going off right now with just these operator shots singing left and right. Chad, I have no way of like having you comprehend how much I
Switching
loathe
sides.
the operator.
Yeah, have you been beaten by the DSU varsity squad with ops?
Literally, there was I can distinctly remember a game on Ascent where we just body a team on like the attacking side.
Yeah.
Their jet picks up an op, we lose. It's just gone.
Yeah.
We could never take him down. Would
Jet's
multiple
movement-
collaterals
Yeah.
would just out of nowhere. It was like, okay, I can't beat you with the Van. I'm gonna choose the one tap gun. So now, literally, whenever I'm in an unrated or a competitive game and someone pulls out the op for the first time,
Yeah.
every single time they get an op kill, I just shift enter op cringe.
Yeah. I mean, with Jet's movement though, like opping with Jet just sounds like a fun time because you're able to like hit an op shot and then dash away immediately.
That's the entire point of it. But DSU are gonna lose the first pick of this half, but not before doing a lot of damage to the opposing KO, and Simp's finally gonna fall. DSU, they're gonna have to win this pistol round and one more to put this series behind them. So it's not over for UND.
And they just
However-
walk onto A side with 0 consequence.
And they saw the omen. Janitor is gonna
Ooh.
get the classic duel though. Xeon following.
With a lot of health too.
He's not.
Oh,
and
man.
Not getting the trade.
We're not hitting our pistol shots here, and I think that's definitely something that
It's okay. DSU doesn't win pistol game.
One enemy remaining.
Unless
Yeah,
Frog
this
and
one.
Billy have anything to say about it.
he's right there. Peek him.
He's thinking he's waiting. He's waiting for KO for him to come through, but he's gonna catch Frog off guard. Billy's at 2 HP.
This will be interesting.
This is gonna come down to just a headshot. Whoever can hit the headshot first. There we go.
He's
Okay.
so close to hitting it.
DSU doesn't win their pistol rounds. It's okay, but they're gonna have to win 2 more rounds before this can be over. And I as much as I want to sing UND's praise and I want to get them going and I want to see Haven,
Yeah, it's just gonna be a
This-
round riddled with a force buy and
Yep.
DSU just running at your face.
This
You're
is
gonna have to
Stinger
find a way to
bio.
deal with that.
I don't think I don't think, yeah, we're going to see Xeon. This is the Bucky that Xeon's buying. I don't think the patch to nerf the Stinger, that's the submachine gun that you're seeing 3 people hold.
Sure.
I don't think that patch has come through. They heavily nerfed the damage fall off of that weapon.
Okay.
It's a beast at long range, and it's
Right.
really not supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, you know, everyone knows that like 9mm is a super long range round.
We're going to see DSU just executing on the side. Dole's going to get the first kill, though.
I'm not
With
sure
the
what that
Spectre.
call out is for that area, but you're just going to see that they forget to deal with it, and it's unfortunately going to be.
Okay, we're going to have Duck doing a little bit of hero work. It's down to just 2 players of DSU.
Timing.
7 HP of Billy. He is going to throw his molly up in the air, but he has to get off of Spike in order, or he's going to die to it. Okay, do they expect the molly to come back? I think I might also just be seeing things right now because he was looking up and I thought I saw him throw something, but apparently he did not actually throw his molly up.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. It comes back down and maybe gets a kill, or does a lot of damage.
I've won rounds by doing that, where I know I can't win this 1 versus 4. However, by the time my molly hits the ground and then dissipates, you have no time left to defuse, and so you either have to eat the molly, which will kill probably most of you, or you have to give up the round. And but now we're gonna see DSU once again, Stinger buy up, baby. Stinger buy up.
I think they're confident in their ability to be able to take the round here from UND.
In the proper hands, I've seen the Stinger take out like operator and vandal teams. There we go.
And that's, you know, you saw that last game with UND, but Billy just forgetting to clear an angle there, and it's going to end up punishing him pretty badly.
One bullet in the chamber for Jamula, but
Spike down mid.
nothing's going to happen. A Sim's going to come from behind. It's down just to Xeon with the Stinger. Stinger Gaming.
Well, Xeon's going to get Sim.
Xeon, what is that crosshair? What is that crosshair, friend?
It's not a crosshair. It's an orb on his screen.
One enemy
Actually,
remaining.
I get made fun of a lot from that crosshair, and I don't get it. It's literally just a dot with movement error.
Oh, and he's going to get so close to a clutch there, but he'll fall.
Yeah, I want to see DSU kind of continue this, but I think due to the Stinger buy-ups, you're still able to buy into it this round. It's because the Stinger is such a cheap weapon, and it does so much work that you're able to buy into this. And now they have all Vandals. I think only Dole is not going to be able to buy all the way up. I'm also really getting confused between Dole and my own name of Doll.
Yeah.
It's 1 letter difference.
Especially because the second half of his name is Mono, which has O's in it. You're just like, oh no.
Wait, am I actually playing? No. But DSU, they're going to have the Vandal buy up here. And this is where Jamu is going to go to town on Simp.
And honestly, I think that pick is just going to start to snowball a little bit here for DSU because, I mean, once DSU has man advantage, they know to put pressure on things, and that pressure is, I mean, now they have a hole in their defenses, essentially.
It's a hole, but look at all the KJ util sitting in. Yeah, there we go. Most of it was cleared by Xeon, but if some of that would have popped, that just makes Tree a death room. So I like what we were seeing. Domano's going to take down Xeon, though, as he tried to push the smoke. We're going to see an offensive DSU sided. Robbie's going to get a kill finally with the operator. Taking down Jamula. It's a 4 versus 3 retake as the spike is going to go down, although Frog's ball is soon to fall.
Yeah, but they know not to push through that. They're just going to take their time.
We're going to see a defensive alt pop. I think he gets 1 pick onto Billy, but everything else, and just Lunchbox taking out Robbie's ankles through the wall, spamming it up. It's a dirty angle and a dirty wallbang to have, but with that, DSU's gonna finally take the round and take it to match point, series point even.
What a crazy pick, that one. That was nuts.
Through the floor?
Yeah, that like, and just the ability to like, he's listening to it, right? Like, obviously that's the feedback that he's receiving, but the moment he receives it, he's like, oh yeah, I know exactly where I'm peaking. I've held this angle hundreds of times. We're chilling.
that peak right there was actually the main reason when Ascent came out, when the game launched after beta. I hated Ascent. I loathed Ascent specifically because of that. There'd be so many times where I'm peeking out A Heaven on a retake, and it's just like, oh, I guess I'm dead.
I'll be honest, I've never played at a high enough elo where people care or know about that. So I've never actually had to deal with it, but I guess I will keep that in mind in my future Valorant endeavors. And here we are. We're just going to see, a DSU walk on, execute. They're going to essentially smoke everything off, get into a power position, and then they're going to try and hopefully build a fortress.
Xeon, you have the double updraft.
Oh, man.
Able to jump up over that. He's going to just put his knives away, actually, as he's going to choose the judge over it. Oh, not able to get one.
Very disciplined there.
Oh, he's good for one before dropping to the Spectre in Robbie's hands, but Billy's gonna get a molly kill, and it's a 1 versus 3. It's all down to Robbie's not looking as Billy gets the backstab, and that will be DSU taking this match.
Yeah, I mean, we expected this to happen. It was going to be a very, very difficult fight for UND to come back from that first game. But GG's all around to everybody, and that was a fantastic showing from DSU. A lot of really promising things.
Scoreboard. Look at this scoreboard. Frog going 26-7.
Yeah, and I just think
with 12 assists too.
Yeah, and I mean, well, if in the post-game interview here, DSU Xeon makes an appearance here at our table, I will definitely be questioning him. Round 6, where he stole the ace from Frog.
I don't know if it's actually Xeon, but if it's either Xeon or Frog, we're gonna bring it up.
Oh yeah, definitely. But no, an absolutely incredible match here. Maybe not necessarily the heart-throbbing, high-octane entertainment that.
Oh, there were some high-octane rounds there, but
yeah,
nothing, no like up against the wire, nothing super close.
Yeah,
it was kind of written in the stars almost for that DSU would kind of run away with this, especially after that split 13-0.
Yeah,
it was a monster to come back from.
And at the end of the day, DSU humbled UND's Ascent play there, making it to where they are going to have to go back to the drawing board, maybe figure out some strategies and things like that they can put together to maybe improve on that map. However, they did not get flawless twice.
They did not get flawless.
And that is definitely worth mentioning.
You gotta look at the brighter side of gray. Right. I did see a lot of good things from UND, especially on Ascent there. Yep. It was looking pretty good. When they were coming back on some of those second half rounds. However, I gotta say, is that them coming back into it, or is that because DSU was kind of messing around and just having fun?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a little bit of both, but I mean, even then, you could see that Frog, at the very least, and I think Xeon and some of the other guys were definitely in it the whole time. It wasn't about, we're going to throw this round, whatever, The ops at the end of the first half, sure. But I think that something that's worth noting, or that's noteworthy here, is just because Xeon picks up a judge doesn't mean that he's messing around. We've seen him be incredibly effective with it.
He'll take that up against Dickinson or USD and all that.
Yeah, and it's confidence in the weapons that too. And also the cheaper SMG buying, that's just honestly because the Stinger, buying the Stingers. I don't think that necessarily is like a we're messing around play, but more of a we're confident in our gunplay. We're confident in our ability to beat Vandals and Phantoms and Spectres and things like that.
What that does, the continuous Spectre buy is it puts your actual full buy round one round later.
Yeah, and that's not a big deal at all for DSU.
10-2, I think it was at the half. When you're up 10-2 at the half, you can play with those extra rounds. So it's we can just either gamble and have the better weaponry with the Stinger. It's just going to be one extra round that we would potentially lose. Or, since we're forcing up and we're bringing the Stinger, which is still a fantastic weapon into this, can definitely compete with Bulldogs and Spectres and all that. You run the risk of also winning those rounds and then not even needing the buy-up.
And then at the very end of the match, you saw the two back-to-back A executes. The one in which was a little bit slowed down by DSU, the first one, and then the second one when they were like, okay, we're just walking onto site and we're going to plant the bomb and win the game. And yeah, I mean, that was it. Not much more of a story to tell for that one, right?
That's pretty much it. But no, GG's to UND. It was a great showing. Welcome to CCL.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, had to kind of go up against one of the Titans here, but I mean, DSU. It was just they're putting in the work, and they're hungry for this champion. They're not quite satisfied with second place from last semester. They're coming after Dickinson, and they're really wanting to run into this. But next week, I believe if I saw the schedule correctly, we can pop that up again. Yeah, we'll be having School of Mines coming up on the 12th. Unfortunately, I won't be there. That's like the one game I'm not able to catch this whole semester. But no, that's going to be a great game. North Dakota State. That one I'm looking forward to, but make sure, if nothing else, make sure you guys can tune in on March 5th and when we go up against Dickinson. That one, if any of them, that one's going to have some fireworks.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. And hopefully DSU walks away with a win with this rematch.
I can guarantee you one DSU is going to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
One DSU will be crowned once again the best DSU.
Anyway, that has been pretty much, unless you have anything else, Chad, to add to it. That'll be pretty much all that she wrote. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this match for CCL. We'll hopefully see you again next week. And later this week, I believe League of Legends is tomorrow. And so make sure to stick around the Trojans Esports Twitch channel some more. But good game once again to UND, and we'll catch you all next time.
See